Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to BingeBot. We recap all the latest and greatest TV shows to help keep you in the loop. Today we're diving into Paramount Plus's British crime drama, MobLand. In this modern tale of organized crime, two crime families butt heads while one fixer, Harry Souza, tries to prevent a all-out gang war. But let's jump right into the recap, starting with Episode 1, Stick or Twist. In the heart of London's criminal underworld, an uneasy alliance between two rival gangs, the Dogans and the Lazaros, finally shatters after 30 years. Attempting to mediate the conflict is Harry Souza, a fixer for the powerful Harrigan crime family who control both gangs. When negotiations collapse, Harry turns to his boss, the ruthless patriarch Conrad Harrigan, for guidance. Conrad reveals that both gangs have been stealing from him and orders Harry to eliminate their leaders. And loyal to the core, Harry and his crew, Souza and Kiko, carry out the execution swiftly, ending the dispute in blood.
Right. Change your plan.
Later that night, Conrad's reckless grandson, Eddie Harrigan, goes clubbing with Tommy Stevenson, the son of Richie Stevenson, who is the head of Harrigan's main rival crime family. Deeply intoxicated, Eddie starts a fight that spirals out of control, and he stabs a young man named Huey Campbell. Fleeing from the scene, he tosses the knife into the Thames, with Tommy berating him for his stupidity. However, Eddie eerily assures him that he'll make it up to him. The next morning, Eddie's parents, Isabella and Kevin, panic when they learn what he's done, and they summon Harry to fix it. Harry convinces the club owner, Valjean, to delete the CCTV footage and coerces the wounded Huey into claiming that he saw nothing. Just when it seems like the mess is contained, Tommy goes missing. His mother, Vron, panics and informs her husband, Richie, about their son's disappearance. And upon investigating, Richie learns that Tommy was last seen with Eddie Harrigan before disappearing. Enraged, he gives the Harrigans 24 hours to find his son or face war. Episode 2, Jigsaw Puzzle. With tensions boiling, Harry confronts Eddie again and presses him to tell him the truth.
Do you want to talk me through that?
Yeah.
Eddie admits that Tommy was with him, but he claims that Tommy fled after the stabbing. But Harry knows he's lying since he saw the deleted footage showing Eddie with two other boys. Tracking them down, Harry learns their names are Alfie and Jack, and that Valjean himself let them into the club. Realizing that Valjean lied, Harry storms the club and beats him senseless until Valjean confesses to the truth, leading Harry to a storage room where he opens up a sealed box and he finds Tommy Stevenson's mutilated remains. Episode 3, Plan B. Harry calls Kevin and he brings him and Eddie to a secluded shipyard, where a battered Valjean is tied to a chair. Valjean accuses Eddie directly, saying that Eddie hired him for £10,000 to quote-unquote take care of Tommy, and that night, after the stabbing, Eddie allegedly had Valjean dispose of the body.
When I return, kid's dead. Been stabbed 50, 60 times. This one's nowhere to be seen. He's a liar.
Hearing this, Kevin's enraged by what his son has done, and losing control, he begins to reprimand Eddie, and he even tases him. To prevent a all-out gang war, Harry devises a plan. By threatening Valjean's family, Harry forces him to take full responsibility for Tommy's murder and presents Valjean to Richie, claiming the case is now solved. Richie, though heartbroken, doesn't believe him entirely, so he shoots Valjean in both legs and drags him away for further interrogation. Episode 4, Rat Trap. While the chaos unfolds, Conrad's manipulative wife, Maeve, secretly celebrates Eddie's brutality, revealing that she was the one who pushed him to kill Tommy. Kevin, tormented by his son's actions, spirals into traumatic memories of being abused by a prison guard named Alan Rusby decades earlier. Meanwhile, Harry meets Richie in a grim pub, where Valjean lies nearly dead from torture. Richie insists Valjean never changed his story, but he still suspects deceit. To test Harry's loyalty, he orders him to kill Valjean on the spot, and Harry complies, brutally finishing Valjean with a hammer handle. Convinced of Harry's sincerity, Richie finally relents, but insists the entire Harrigan family must attend Tommy's funeral. Episode 5. Funeral for a Friend. Knowing refusal would confirm suspicion, Conrad and his family attend the funeral. Richie stares at Conrad throughout the service, cold and silent, and afterward, he confronts him privately with Kevin and Harry present, declaring that he knows the Harrigans lied and that Harry coerced Valjean into a false confession. Still, out of respect for Conrad's presence, Richie spares them a war, but vows that Eddie is now fair game, and if he ever sees him again, he'll kill the boy himself.
But if I see that little cunt, Eddie Harrigan, out, anywhere, now do we have a deal?
Back home, Conrad tries to calm himself by cooking, but Maeve storms in furious that Vron insulted her at the funeral. When Conrad dismisses her anger, Maeve impulsively orders their loyal enforcer Paul to handle it. And the next morning, as Vron gets into her car, it explodes in a massive blast. Episode 6. Antwerp Blues. Conrad immediately realizes that Maeve was behind Vron's murder, and knowing Richie will retaliate, he braces for war. Yet, secretly, Conrad welcomes it, since destroying the Stevensons will allow him to seize their lucrative fentanyl business.
We're gonna take those out one by one. Their friends, their families. We're gonna cut off the Stevensons' empire, and we'll bleed Richie White.
And gathering his family at the mansion for safety, he sends Harry to Antwerp, where he learns that 2 of his children, Brendan and Serafina, are there negotiating a ruby deal worth 20 million euros. Unbeknownst to him, Maeve betrays them yet again, secretly calling for Richie to feign remorse and reveal Serafina's location. She claims that she only wants Brendan spared, since he is her biological son, and Serafina is just a product of an affair Conrad had with another woman. Thankful for all the information, Richie contacts his Mexican cartel partners and orders an attack on the Antwerp warehouse. While Brendan and Serafina are closing their ruby deal, gunmen storm in, slaughtering the guards and taking Brendan and Serafina hostage. Episode 7. The Crossroads. Cartel boss Jaime Lopez broadcasts the hostages live, with Richie sharing the stream with Conrad, Maeve, and Kevin, forcing them to watch Brendan and Serafina tied to chairs. Kevin frantically calls Harry, who's already in Antwerp, but Harry knows that he can't reach them in time, and desperate, he contacts powerful international crime boss Cat Mallister. Harry begs her to intervene, but before she can, Jaime's executioner starts the chainsaw and kills Brendan on camera while the Harrigans watch in horror. Maeve collapses, realizing that her betrayal has led to her son's death. Moments later, Cat calls Jaime directly and orders him to stop, and respecting her influence, Jaime halts the execution and spares Serafina. Cat then calls Harry to confirm that Serafina is safe, but reminds him that he now owes her, an obligation Harry fears more than any rival.
Harry?
Yes, Cap.
You owe me.
Episode 8. Helter Skelter. At dawn, Jaime's men deliver Serafina, traumatized and covered in her brother's blood, back to Harry. He returns her to Conrad, who thanks him sincerely, and when Conrad asks how he pulled it off, Harry reluctantly admits that he called Cat Mallister. Hearing this, Conrad becomes unsettled as he knows that Cat never does favors without expecting repayment. Yet, he sees an opportunity. If Cat can connect them, he wants to negotiate directly with Jaime Lopez about joining his fentanyl trade. Cat agrees to arrange the meeting, but warns Harry that this means he owes her twice now, tightening the leash that she already had on him.
So I make that 2 favors. 2 favors that you owe me. Harry, is that clear?
Yes, Cap.
Episode 9. Beggar's Banquet. Thanks to Cat, Conrad, Serafina, and Harry meet Jaime at a pub. Despite her trauma, Serafina stays poised and offers Jaime double what Richie pays him if he switches his allegiance to the Harrigans. Jaime seems interested, but he sets a condition. they must first root out a mole leaking information from within their own ranks. Soon after, Harry realizes who it is, the family lawyer, O'Hara Delaney, after she suddenly advises against entering the fentanyl trade. Harry calls O'Hara and arranges a meeting, certain that she's working for Richie. And believing that he'll kill her, he tells Conrad that the problem is handled. That night, Conrad hosts a family dinner with Harry, Harry's wife Jan, and Jan's friend Alice, unaware that Alice is actually an undercover detective whose real name is Nicola. During the dinner, Harry grows suspicious when Nicola takes too long in the bathroom, and catching her in Conrad's office, he discovers that she's stealing a wine glass and a cigar butt to plant their DNA at a crime scene. Before Harry can stop her, police sirens blare outside and officers swarm in to arrest Conrad and Maeve for murder.
I'm arresting you both on suspicion of murder.
While the family deals with their arrests, Kevin wrestles with his old demons. Haunted by the abuse that he suffered in prison, he tracks down the offending guard, Alan, and confronts him. Alan pleads for mercy, claiming that he has children, and the mention triggers Kevin's anguish, and though he briefly hesitates, he shoots Alan dead, reclaiming his power, but losing another piece of his soul. Episode 10. The Beast in Me. Standing over Alan's corpse, Kevin speaks to it as though it's still alive, revealing the family's darkest secret. Eddie is not his son, but Conrad's, born from Conrad's affair with Isabella, Kevin's wife. When Maeve discovered the affair, Conrad had Isabella marry Kevin, condemning him to raise his own half-brother as his child. And this revelation explains Kevin's lifelong torment. Meanwhile, Maeve, now in jail, uses a smuggled phone to summon Eddie. She manipulates him as always, this time by revealing the truth about his parentage. Shattered, Eddie confronts Isabella at the safe house, demanding answers. She confirms everything, but insists her love is real. Overcome with rage, Eddie tries to strangle her, but Souza and Kiko intervene, subduing him and letting him go on Isabella's command. With Conrad and Maeve imprisoned, Harry steps up to lead. He meets O'Hara, who admits her betrayal and cooperation with Richie. Pretending to spare her, Harry instructs her to feed Richie false information. However, O'Hara warns Richie that Harry is preparing an ambush and reveals the supposed location of the Harrigan safe house. Believing her, Richie sends one of his teams to attack the ambush site and another to kill the supposedly undefended Harrigan women. However, both locations are traps. When Harry's men enter O'Hara's office, Paul detonates a bomb that wipes them all out. And at the safe house, Souza and Kiko abandon the attackers, killing them all, though Kiko dies in the crossfire. With Richie's army gone, Harry and Kevin storm his headquarters. In a desperate attempt, Richie uses O'Hara as a human shield, but Harry shoots her dead without hesitation. Kevin then riddles Richie with bullets, ending the war once and for all. Now victorious, Harry focuses on freeing Conrad and Maeve. He reveals that he secretly recorded Nicola's confession about planting fake DNA evidence, ensuring their release within weeks. As a consequence, Nicola's career is ruined, and her handler, retired detective Colin Tattersall, is exposed as corrupt since he was working for Richie. With the Harrigans seemingly triumphant, Cat Mallister calls in her debt, ordering Harry to betray the family and give her everything she needs to destroy them. Harry refuses, however, declaring his loyalty to the Harrigans, and in response, Cat warns him that defiance means she'll go after everybody that he loves, including his wife Jan and their daughter Gina.
You know that world you were talking about where I tell you to go and yourself? That world is this world.
Big mistake.
That night, Harry returns home, bleeding but alive, with Jan chopping carrots in the kitchen when he tells her that Richie is dead and insists their lives can finally be normal. Both furious and exhausted, Jan rants that his criminal life has nearly destroyed them, and in her anger, she slips and cuts her finger. When Harry tries to help, she jerks the knife, accidentally stabbing him in the chest. Horrified, she rushes to his side, but Harry assures her that it's fine. Sitting together on the couch, they share a faint, ironic smile, both realizing that after everything, the murders, betrayals, and blood, that maybe there's still hope for their marriage after all. And that's all for MobLand Season 1. So, what'd you guys think of the show? I greatly appreciated the all-star cast and the unflinching brutality, but I'm eager to hear your thoughts, so sound off in the comments and let us know. Thanks again for watching our recap and for sticking around until the end. If you guys liked the video, consider sharing it with a friend or maybe just dropping us a like, and if you want to keep up to date on all of our content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you never miss a new video. As always, if you want to support us further, you can do so via YouTube memberships, Patreon, or Buy Me a Coffee. And from everyone here at the BingeBot team, thank you for all of your support and for watching our videos. We'll be back soon with another video on your favorite entertainment, but for now, BingeBot is logging off.